Part 1 was the mirror. We looked at the man you inherited, your ego as an armor. We looked at emotional escape, control disguised as leadership, and the excuses men use when good intentions are not enough. And now we move on into part 2, the rebuild. This is where awareness becomes practice, because seeing the pattern is not the same as changing the pattern. A man can know he gets defensive and still keeps defending. A man can know he avoids emotions and still keep escaping. A man can know he controls the room and still call it leadership. He can know he hurts his family and still hide behind his intentions. So the rebuild is about tools, emotional language. We're working on repair, listening, vulnerability, partnership, co-parenting, maturity. This part of the series is for men ready to stop explaining who they meant to be and start practicing who their family needs them to be. No shame, no performance, no perfect manhood, just complete honest work. So welcome to the Evolution of Man, a series from 15 Minutes with Dad. You can follow 15 Minutes with Dad on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Join our weekly call-ins, community support on Discord at 15 Minutes with Dad. And you can email me directly at Lirec, L-I-R-E-C, at 15minuteswithdad.com. This is part 2, the rebuild. Let us begin. Trust does not break only when somebody leaves. Trust breaks when someone stays but stops feeling safe. A child stops telling the truth because dad's reactions, they feel bigger than the mistake. A partner stops bringing needs forward because every conversation turns into defense. A co-parent stops trying to collaborate because every concern becomes a power struggle. A man says, "I said I was sorry." The family thinks, "We heard the words, we have not seen the change." That gap is where trust lives or dies. A sorry man wants the pain to end. An accountable man wants the pattern to end. Those are different men. One wants relief, the other wants repair. Repair after rupture is not about begging. It's not about performing guilt. It's not about punishing yourself until people trust you again. Repair is the disciplined work of showing the people you hurt that your awareness has become behavior, because trust does not return because you are ready to move on. Trust returns when the people affected by your pattern experience enough safety to believe something has changed. Welcome to 15 Minutes with Dad. I am Lirec Williams. This episode is episode 7 of the Evolution of Man. The title is called Repair After Rupture: How Men Rebuild Trust After Harm. Episode 6 opened part 2 with the language of emotional safety. Today we move into repair. Because even emotionally mature men rupture relationships. Every father has moments he wishes he handled better. Every partner has moments where pride got ahead of love. And every co-parent has moments where old pain entered a present conversation. Every man has said something too sharp, shut down too long, controlled too much, missed the need, broke a promise, ignored a signal, or defended himself when someone needed him to listen. The question is not whether or not rupture happens. The question is, what would you do next? Do you explain? Do you minimize? Do you disappear? Do you demand that they get over it? Do you apologize once and expect instant trust? Do you change the subject? Do you say, "That was not my intention"? Or do you repair? Research on parent and adolescent apologies show that strong apologies are more victim-centered. They include remorse, responsibility, acknowledgement of harm, steps to prevent it from happening again, and a non-pressuring approach to forgiveness. That matters for fathers. Your child does not need your shame spiral. Your partner does not need your courtroom defense, and your co-parent does not need old conflict disguised as communication. They need clarity. They need ownership. They need changed behavior. They need repair. What does rupture mean? A rupture is a break in emotional connection. It might be loud, it might be quiet, A rupture might sound like yelling. It might sound like sarcasm. It might sound like cold silence. It might sound like a broken promise. It might look like leaving the room and never returning to the conversation. It might look like making a decision without your partner. It might look like correcting a child with shame instead of guidance. It might look like texting a co-parent out of frustration instead of clarity. It might look like emotional withdrawal after feedback. Sometimes rupture happens in one moment. Sometimes rupture happens through repeatedly and through repetition. One yell might scare a child. Repeated yelling trains the child to prepare for dad's mood. One missed promise hurts. Repeated missed promises teaches the family to stop believing your word. One defensive conversation creates frustration. Repeated defensiveness teaches people that honesty with you is expensive. That is why repair matters. Repair tells the relationship the rupture does not get the final word. A man who repairs teaches his family that conflict does not have to become abandonment. He teaches children that mistakes need responsibility. His partners get to learn that pain matters, and co-parents get to learn that the child's needs sits above our ego. He teaches himself that accountability does not destroy him. It strengthens him. Why men struggle to repair. Many men were never taught to repair. We were taught consequence, punishment, silence, moving on, toughening up, pretending nothing happened, buying something, working harder, avoiding the topic until the emotion fade. Some homes did not repair. They reset. Dad yelled. Everyone got quiet. The next day, life moved on. No apology, no conversation, no explanation, no ownership. The family learned to survive the weather. Nobody named the storm. Some men bring that same pattern into adulthood. They believe time equals repair. They believe calm equals resolution. And they believe silence means the issue ended. They believe the absence of conflict means trust returned. And that is not always true. Sometimes people stop talking because they feel safer lowering the expectations. And that is not peace. That is resignation. A child who stops crying around you might not be regulated. They might be hiding. A partner who stops asking for connection may not look upset, but might not be content. They might be tired. A co-parent who keeps messages short might not be healed. They might be protecting the child from conflict. A relationship without open conflict is not always healthy. Sometimes it is a relationship where honesty became too costly. Repair gives honesty a way back. Apology is not the same as repair. An apology is a statement. Repair is a process. An apology says, I am sorry. Repair says, I understand what happened, I own my part, and I am changing the pattern. An apology might happen in 30 seconds. Repair often requires repeated behavior over time. An apology asks to be heard. Repair asks to be witnessed. An apology might lower tension. Repair builds trust. The Guardian's 2025 reporting on apology research summarized several important pieces. Strong apologies often include acknowledgement of harm, responsibility, useful context, and visible effort toward repair. It is also warned against weak apologies that focus too heavily on defending intention. This matters because many men apologize in ways that protect pride. I'm sorry if you felt that way. That questions their experience. I'm sorry, but I was tired. That centers your excuse. I already said sorry. That demands closure. I guess I am the worst father. That turns the hurt into your comforter, the hurt person into your comforter. I did not mean it. That leads with intent instead of impact. A stronger apology sounds like this. I raised my voice. That scared you. You did not deserve that. I am sorry. Next time I will pause before speaking, and if I need space, I will name the pause and come back. That apology has ownership. It names the harm. It protects the child from carrying the shame. It includes future practice, does not demand instant forgiveness. That is repair language. Now let's talk about repair with children. Children do not need perfect fathers. They need fathers who are capable of repair. A child who experiences repair learns that relationship can survive conflict. They learn that adults take responsibility. They learn that love includes accountability. They learn that mistakes do not remove worth. And they learn that strong people apologize. So research on father involvement keeps showing the value of warmth and responsiveness. A 2025 meta-analysis found that fathers' positive engagement, warmth, and responsiveness were linked with young children's social and emotional development. And a 2024 systematic review also includes and describes father involvement as a key factor in early childhood social and emotional development, including emotional regulation. So repair is part of warmth, and it's a part of responsiveness. So repair would say, I notice how my behavior affected you. I care enough to respond differently. When you yell at your child, repair. When you shame your child, repair. When you dismiss their feelings, repair. When you compare them to someone else, repair. When you punish before understanding, repair. When you let work stress enter the room, repair. Try this with a young child. Daddy yelled. That was scary. You did not cause my yelling. I'm sorry. I'm going to practice using a calmer voice. With a teen, I came at you with frustration instead of curiosity, and I made the conversation feel unsafe. I still care about the issue, but I should have handled it differently. With an adult child, look, I understand that some of my patterns affected you for years. I cannot undo all of that with one conversation, but I want to listen without defending myself so that we can repair. Do you notice the pattern? Do not make the child responsible for your feelings. Do not ask them to erase the harm. Do not say, you know I love you. Say, my love did not come through well in that moment. That sentence matters. Love needs behavior. Now let's dive into repair with your partners. Now, repair with a partner requires humility, not humiliation. Humility. A partner often needs 3 rings or 3 things after rupture. They need to know you understand the impact. They need to know you are not centering your shame. They need to know what will be different. And many men fail at step 1 because they rush to step 3. They say, look, I will do better. But their partner still does not feel understood. Before you promise change, reflect the wound. Like, you felt alone because I shut down. You felt dismissed because I interrupted you. You felt unsupported because I treated your need like criticism. You felt unsafe because my anger took over the room. You felt like you were carrying the relationship by yourself. Reflection does not mean you agree with every detail. It means you are trying to understand the emotional impact. Repair also requires not punishing your partner for still feeling hurt. A man might say, why are you still bringing this up? Trust answers, because the pattern keeps returning. A man might go on to say, I thought we were past this. But the answer is we are past it when the behavior changes enough to feel safe. Men might say, you never let anything go. But trust will answer, I cannot let go of what keeps happening. Repair with a partner is not about winning your reputation back. It's about becoming safer to love. Let's take a quick pause for a moment. If this podcast has helped you slow down, see something different, or show up better as a dad, I want to ask you to do one simple thing for me. Take a second and rate 15 Minutes with Dad on whatever platform you're listening on right now. Those ratings help this work reach more fathers who are trying to do better, more men who are trying to be greater in their families' lives. And if you're having a meaningful moment, an awesome conversation with your kids, a breakthrough, or even a hard lesson that you're learning and want to share it on social media and tag us at 15 Minutes with Dad. And I read them. They matter a lot to me. And they remind other dads they're not doing this alone. All right, let's get back to it. Public parenting conversations keep returning to this theme. Fathers and parents are asking how to apologize after yelling, how to repair with children, and how to rebuild secure attachment after old habits. Recent parenting conversations describe repair as the way children learn trust, emotional regulation, and healthy accountability. The dadded and fatherhood space show the same pain from another angle. Men often talk about irritability, burnout, loneliness, marital strain, and wanting to do better without knowing where to begin. They are not always asking for theory. They are asking, what do I say after I messed up? How do I stop repeating this? How do I rebuild trust? How do I stay calm next time? How do I stop becoming the man I promised I would never be? That is the need this episode answers. Other podcasts in the fatherhood and emotional growth space are also pressing into this lane. The Dad Edge often speaks to fathers about leadership, emotional regulation, and building trust inside family life. Being Well with Rick Hansen has explored masculinity, strength, connection, and emotional openness with Terry Real and Justin Real. The Gottman Institute's body of relationship work often centers repair attempts, conflict recovery, and the ratio of positive to negative interactions in stable relationships. The wider conversation is clear. Modern fatherhood is no longer only asking men to show up. It is asking men to repair how they show up. So I'm going to give you a 5-part repair framework for this episode. I call it the repair framework, REPAIR framework. Yes, repair has 6 letters. Each letter gives you a step. So we're going to start with R. R is recognize the rupture. Name what happened without softening it. I yelled, I shut down, I broke my word, I dismissed your feelings. I made the conversation unsafe. I controlled instead of listened. I spoke from anger. I used silence as punishment. This step matters because vague apologies create vague repair. Do not say, I am sorry for everything. Say what happened. E, I'm going to empathize with the impact. Name what your behavior created. That likely made you feel scared. That made you feel alone. That made you feel unheard. That made you feel like your needs did not matter. That made you feel like telling the truth was unsafe. That made our child feel caught between us. Empathy tells the other person, I am not only thinking about my guilt, I am thinking about your experience. P, personal ownership. Own your part without blaming their reaction. Look, I was wrong for raising my voice. I should have communicated sooner. I should have paused instead of attacking. I should not have brought up the past. I should not have returned to that conversation. I should not have listened. I should have listened before responding. Ownership does not require self-hatred. It requires truth. That brings us to A, action for repair. Offer a specific repair. I will apologize to our child. I will resend the information clearly. I will take the responsibility from start to finish. I will schedule the counseling session. I will replace the item. I will write down the plan so we both know what happens next. Repair needs behavior. The next one is I. Identify the new practice. This step prevents the cycle from repeating. Next time, I will take a structured pause. Next time, I will ask one question before responding. Next time, I will share appointment information when it is scheduled. Next time, I will lower my voice and sit down. Next time, I will tell you I feel defensive instead of becoming defensive. Practice turns apology into growth. And lastly, R. Release the demand for immediate forgiveness. This is where many men struggle. You apologized, you owned it. Now you want relief. But forgiveness belongs to the person harmed. Trust returns on their timeline, not your demand. So you can say, I understand if trust takes time. I am going to focus on consistency. That sentence shows maturity. It tells them, you do not need to rush your healing to comfort me. I want to also take some time to talk about what not to do after you apologize. Do not monitor their forgiveness. Don't ask things like, are you still mad? Are we good now? Why are you acting weird? That puts pressure on them. Do not demand credit. I apologized. What else do you want? They want consistency. Do not punish their honesty. If they tell you the apology did not land, listen. Do not turn repair into a speech. Short, clear, owned repair is stronger than a long emotional presentation. Do not make yourself the victim. Your shame matters. Handle it without handing it to the person you hurt. Do not repeat the behavior and call every apology growth. Change behavior is the evidence. So here's a script that you can use when navigating conflict in your relationships. Now, when you do not know what to say, you can start with, I want to repair what happened. You want to start with, I did, ... Name the behavior. What did you do? Next sentence, I understand that it made you feel like ... Name the impact. That was not okay. Own the behavior. You can give a brief context with my reason was ... Keep it very brief. That does not excuse the impact. That removes the shield. What I will do now is ... which offers repair. This is what I will do. And what I will practice next time is ... I understand trust might take time. Release the pressure. For example, with the child, I want to repair what happened. I yelled when you spilled the drink. That probably scared you and made you feel like mistakes are not safe with me. That was not okay. I was frustrated, but that does not excuse my yelling. I'm going to clean this with you. And next time I will take a breath before I speak. I love you, and your mistake does not change your value. Very simple. With a partner, I want to repair what happened. I interrupted you, and I defended myself while you were explaining how alone you felt. That made you feel the need, or your need felt dismissed, and that was not okay. I felt ashamed, but that was no excuse for my response. I want to hear the concern again without interrupting. Next time, I will ask a question before explaining. Example with a co-parent. I want to repair my last message. My tone was sharp and made the conversation harder. That does not help our child. I was frustrated, but I should have kept the message focused on the issue. Moving forward, I will keep communication clear, respectful, and centered on the child. Now let's take a moment to pause and think. Who still needs repair from you right now? A child, a partner, a co-parent, a friend, a sibling, yourself. What rupture keeps repeating? Yelling, withdrawal, broken promises, harsh correction, emotional absence, defensiveness, control, dismissal. What have you called it? Have you called it stress, work, being tired, being raised that way, trying your best? Now, lastly, ask, what did they experience? Did they feel scared, alone, invisible, controlled, unimportant, unsafe, unheard, resentful, responsible for your emotions? That is the truth repair needs. Not only what you meant, what they experienced. So this week, choose one repair. Do not choose the biggest rupture in your life if you are not ready to handle it with maturity. Choose one repair you are prepared to own. Use the repair framework. Recognize the rupture, empathize with the impact, practice personal ownership, act toward repair, identify the new practice, release the demand for immediate forgiveness. Then say it in fewer than 2 minutes. No speech, no defense, no blame, no pressure. After the repair, write 3 lines. What did I own? What did I learn? And what must I practice next? Repair is not proven by apology. It's proven by the pattern that follows the repair. So a man who repairs is not a weak man. He is a trusted man. He does not need to pretend he never causes harm. He needs enough strength to face the harm without hiding. He does not need to collapse into shame. He needs enough humility to own his behavior. He does not need instant forgiveness. He needs enough discipline to become consistent. Your children need repair. Your partner needs repair. Your co-parenting relationship needs repair. Your own nervous system needs repair. The man you are becoming needs repair because repair teaches you that accountability is survivable. You can be wrong and still be worthy. Those two truths can exist. You can cause harm and still choose growth. Those two truths can exist at the same time as well. You can rupture trust and still build through honesty, patience, and change behavior. A sorry man wants pain to end. An accountable man wants the pattern to end. Be the accountable man. And episode 8 is called The Strength to Listen, Why Men Must Learn to Hear Pain Without Fixing It. We will talk about listening, emotional presence, empathy, and why problem solving is not always connection. You can follow me at 15 Minutes with Dad on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Share this episode with a man ready to build trust through repair. Make sure you email me your stories at lirec@15minuteswithdad.com. I want to start telling your stories on this podcast. This is 15 Minutes with Dad. I'm Lirec Williams. Own the rupture, practice the repair, rebuild the trust. Before you move on, let's pause here, because growth doesn't happen in the listening. It happens in what you choose next. So you don't need to change everything. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Stay present long enough to practice something different. So carry this into your home, into those small moments, the hard conversations, and the quiet decisions no one applauds. That's where fatherhood is built. And if something here resonated, let it become action. Let it become consistency, or become the way that you lead. Because this is how trust is formed. This is how safety is felt, and this is how generational change actually happens. And if this episode helps you, share it with another father who's trying to do better. And if you have a story, a win, or a lesson you're learning, email me at Lirec, Lirec, at 15minuteswithdad.com. That's Lirec at 15minuteswithdad.com. Because this work grows through shared experiences.